Today, I want to tell you a story about Mike, a story he's carried for more than 60 years, a story about fear, shame, change, and finding your voice, even when your voice doesn't always want to cooperate. Mike has stammered for as long as he can remember. School was difficult, speaking was difficult, even saying his own name was hard, and other children noticed. They whispered, pointed, laughed quietly behind hands. Nothing vicious, but enough to make him feel very small. As an adult, the fear didn't disappear. It grew. When the office phone rang, Mike froze. He shook. He hid in corners. He prayed the ringing would stop. For years, the sound of a phone meant fear. Mike learned to avoid anything that involved speaking. He walked miles past small shops rather than say a simple hello. He avoided restaurants and social gatherings too, not because he didn't like people, but because he feared being asked to speak. Even ordering a drink was a challenge. Mike couldn't say the word pint, so he ordered 2 halves instead. It sounds funny now, but at the time, it was survival.
2 halves a lager, please.
Mike became an expert at changing words, changing sentences, and sometimes even changing who he was, just to avoid getting stuck. It made him good at crosswords, though. And then came 1996, the turning point. 2 weeks before his wedding, Mike joined the McGuire Programme. He learned to speak using a new technique. The training course was intense, needing a huge intake of air before speaking. And for the first time, Mike felt like he had tools instead of fear. At his wedding, people thought he'd sprinted to the church. That big breath before speaking, it sounded dramatic, but no, it was just Mike, finally speaking with purpose and saying the things that everybody with a stutter dreads, his wedding vows and speech. And Elaine, she never cared about the stammer, she never even heard it, she just heard Mike. Mike trained as a coach, he helped others, he pushed himself into situations he had avoided for decades. And then, during the speech courses, something remarkable happened. Mike began speaking publicly. He stood on soapboxes in Dublin, Cardiff, Bristol, Bradford, and Bournemouth, and even at Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park. The boy who once hid from telephones was now addressing crowds. Mike stepped away from the programme about 5 years ago. Life moved on, but the gratitude stayed, and he still greatly admires the programme. Through Stammer, the British Stammering Association, new doors opened. Mike spent time supporting parents of children who stammered, helping them understand, helping them stay calm, helping them feel less alone. Mike's volunteering with Stammer opened doors he never imagined. He was invited to special events at the House of Commons, standing in those historic rooms, rubbing shoulders with MPs and Ed Balls, and even chatting with one of Scotland's top rugby players. It was a reminder that even the biggest, strongest people sometimes need help finding their voice. Mike hasn't overcome his stammer, he's simply learned to live with it without letting it make his world smaller. And if you've watched Mike's videos, you'll know he rarely talks directly to the camera, but he's changing that, bit by bit, step by step. Because confidence isn't a leap, it's 1,000 tiny steps forward.
And of course, you never just pop into IKEA. Once you're in, you're walking miles. I feel I've just walked the length of Wales.
So if you've ever felt held back by your confidence, your voice, or your past, stick around. Life after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about courage, kindness, and finally becoming yourself. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, give it a like. It really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe so YouTube shows you our next adventure. You can find more stories, tips, and behind-the-scenes bits over at 60rocks.co.uk. See you in the next video.